Hello and welcome to Vandreza FC Television, or VCTV in short. And this is the highly anticipated Mental Health Awareness Seminar. Well, we all know how perilous, if I should use that word, these times are. And this is coming about 20 days after the official World Mental Health Awareness Day. So Vandreza FC, as part of our corporate social responsibility and being a people-centric organization, has decided to put this together. Welcome. My name is George Essien. I'm your anchor, but we have a keynote speaker who is reputed to know how to speak about mental health. In fact, he says he knows how to service our engines, which everybody needs. He's a psychotherapist, behavioral change specialist, certified peak performance coach. He is Coach Dennis Agbete, and he joined us this morning. Good morning to you, Coach.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited as well.
So excited.
And I love the fact that you're called Coach because, you know, it's a football term.
Yeah.
All right, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
An interesting day.
Very.
And amidst all that's been happening in Nigeria and the world as well, we're just trying to settle down from COVID-19, the effect of a COVID-19 pandemic.
Yes.
Nigeria has witnessed its own fair share of unrest.
Yes.
So this is definitely pertinent, right?
Yes. It's really disturbing, and it's been difficult for many people. 2020, many people lost loved ones. You know, people had tragic experiences. People lost their lives, their properties, their businesses. Even just last week, a lot of looting, and you could imagine what a lot of business owners are going through.
Casualties, fatalities.
So different disruptions, different casualties, and so it's been a tough time for many people, and it's important that Vandreza FC is bringing this to people to learn how they can manage and cope with this pressure, these difficulties that is happening. Many things people face this year, they've never faced before. So the whole world had never faced this really before. You know, it's new to this generation. And people need to learn how to, you know, hold up and not break down in spite of the difficulties.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this is going to be an interactive session. So
Yes.
we expect that you start sending in your comments and questions right now.
Yes.
Mental health, there are questions about it. There are people around you, you know, that you also question the mental health. But hey, the coach obviously is coming to tell us here that everybody needs to check him or herself from time to time.
Yes.
So go straight to our Facebook page, Vandreza Football Club, our YouTube page as well. You can get your comments there because we're streaming live on there as well on those two platforms. You can ask questions on any of our social media platforms. Of course, on Twitter, we are Vandreza FC _ on Instagram, vandreza.fc. On Facebook as well is Vandreza Football Club. All right, so just check out all those platforms and start dropping your questions. Coach, let's get the show on the road.
Yes, so we want to feel your pulse. Okay, so talk to us. Tell us how you feel so that we can meet you at the point of your need like this. So whatever you're dealing with, you can ask questions, you can give us feedback. If what we are saying resonates with you, let us know. We want to hear from you, okay? This is very good. It's going to be very interactive. So today, we want to talk about mental health, how you can maintain mental health. You were asking a question about who a psychotherapist is.
Yes, that's right.
Many people are just saying that word for the first time.
Yeah.
Like,
you've heard of psychiatrists, psychologists, you know, psychotherapists. It sounds like the merger of a psychologist and a psychotherapist. Who is a psychotherapist?
So a psychotherapist is a health professional who helps people heal and help them recover from emotional, mental, and behavioral problems that is not making them happy, that is not making them healthy, right? And it's affecting their results in life. So a psychotherapist helps you heal from emotional issues. And let's give an example of a footballer. The footballer is playing ball and the footballer gets injured. And a footballer who is injured cannot perform well. Right? There's no how you want to perform. The same thing with your emotions. If you are wounded emotionally, you can't really perform well. You can't perform well as a father, as a mother. You can't perform well on your job. You can't perform well even as a sport person. So, and it's important that people heal emotionally. It's very, very important. They say hurting people hurt others. When you are hurting, you are going to hurt somebody else. And that's how people, there's this circle of being, you see someone who was raped as a child, he becomes a rapist himself. So it's important that that's what we do as psychotherapists. So let's look at mental health, right? When people hear about mental health, when they hear about the word mental health, what comes to their mind first is the fact that people think about the woman that is on the road that is mad. Medically, we don't use the word mad, but I won't just use layman language. You see, people think about the person who is naked on the road, probably wearing rags, eating from the dustbin, and that's what people think about when they talk about mental health. Or the young boy that is or young man that is in the psychiatry is talking to himself. But mental health is beyond just mental illness. All right, mental health really doesn't have to do with mental illness. Mental illness is part of it, but it's not just about mental illness. Mental health, according to the World Health Organization definition, mental health is not just the absence of mental disorder or mental illness. Mental health is defined as a state of well-being where an individual realizes his or her potential, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make contribution to his or her community. And that is when you can say you are mentally healthy. So this definition is long, so I'll just give you a simpler breakdown of what mental health. You can see that on your screen. See, mental health, just 4 basic dimensions or aspects of mental health. Number 1, mental health is a state of well-being where you are in a state where you are able to tackle, cope, and adapt with the difficulties of life. The pressure you go through on a day-to-day basis, your ability to cope with that pressure, the ability to cope with stressors of life, your ability to cope and tackle the difficulties of life, that ability is what measures your mental health. So if you are not able to cope, if you are finding it difficult to cope with the difficulties of life, take for example what has been going on in the world in 2020, the COVID-19, the whole protests. People call me and like, Coach, I can't help it anymore. All I'm seeing on social media, I'm already shaking. I'm panicking. Being in that state where you are not able to cope. So you are mentally healthy when you are able to cope, you are able to adapt, you are able to manage yourself, you are able to manage your mind when you are going through difficulties, when things are happening around you. That's the first dimension of mental health. The second dimension of mental health is that state of mind where you are aware of your potentials and you are fulfilling your potentials. All right? You are aware of your abilities. You are aware of what you can do. And you are actually expressing yourself to the fullest. All right? You are not mentally healthy if you are living below your potential on a nearly daily basis. You know that you are supposed to be operating in 100 capacity, but you are operating in 20 every day. It means that you are not mentally healthy. Number 3, mental health is a state of well-being where you are working productively, you are fruitful, you are effective on your job. You are effective in your day-to-day life. So if you are not productive, you are finding it difficult to be fruitful, to be productive on your job. It means that you are not mentally healthy. Then lastly, mental health is a state of well-being where you are able to contribute to your community, contribute positively to your community. See, anyone who is absent-minded cannot really contribute to society, and that's what mental health is. So when you look at this whole definition, you will realize that many people are not mentally healthy. right? Now, but there's this stigma attached to mental health. When people hear about mental health, the mental health is being stigmatized, right? And that's why sometimes I prefer to call it mentally fit. So today I want to challenge you. I want to ask you, how mentally fit are you? How mentally healthy are you? And that's what we want to learn today, how you can be mentally healthy, right? How you can be mentally fit to face the difficulties that is in our present day, to face the difficulties, the pressure, the stressors of today's world. Okay, how do you do that? So today we'll be focusing on three major aspects, I will call it, in mental health. And because mental health is a broad topic, but we want to talk about the ones that affect all of us. The one that affects all of us, all of us. We want to talk about how this affects all of us. So we're talking about stress, anxiety, and depression. These ones are common. Almost everyone undergoes stress, right? Almost everyone, one time or the other, will feel anxious, right? Many a times, many people are, in short, depression is rising. It is said that by 2020, depression, according to prediction and research, that by 2020, depression will be the second leading cause of death, disabilities, and diseases. And by 2030, it will be the leading cause of death, diseases, and disability. You can remember last year, was it last year? Yeah, last year and early this year, Nigeria recorded a lot of suicide cases. You see people jumping, taking sniper on suicide every day, and that's as a result of people dealing with all kinds of emotions that they cannot master, right? So we'll be talking today about mental. So which of these do you suffer from? I want you to talk to us. Which of these do you think you are suffering from at the moment? Is it stress? Is it anxiety? Is it depression? I want to hear from you. Want to hear from you. So, and the reason why this is important. When you don't take care of your stress level, you are developing anxiety. You begin to develop anxiety. And once you don't take care of your anxiety, it can lead to depression. Because many a times, stress is always a precursor to anxiety, and anxiety is always a precursor to depression. Stress also triggers many other mental health issues. So if you're not able to master your stress level, you're not able to manage your stress level, you are putting yourself at a risk of many other mental health issues. So the question now is, what is stress? You can share with me on whatever platform you are. Just tell me, what do you think stress is? When you say you are stressed, what do you mean? What do you mean when you say you are stressed? Oh, coach, I am stressed. Somebody came to me and the person was like, me, I don't want stress in my life. Oh, see, let us first clear a particular matter now. You can't avoid stress in life, all right? Stress is actually good when all it does is pushes you, right? We all need stress in our life in the sense that you need a level, we will all remain in our comfort zone until pressure is placed upon you. You won't want to do anything if pressure is not. It's because of the demands of life that is driving you, right? So we need a level of stress to be alive, right? But it is when that stress is not well managed that it becomes dangerous. So what is stress? Is there someone talking online? Let's know. Just share with me what you think. When you say you are stressed, what do you mean?
All right, don't forget you can drop your comments and questions on our Facebook platform, Vandrosa Football Club.
Yes.
On YouTube as well, Vandrosa Football Club. On Twitter at Vandrosa FC _. On Instagram at Vandrosa.fc. We have Kingsley here that says, stress means I have a situation that is beyond my capacity to cope with in the meantime. And Indifreke Udo says, stress, anxiety, and depression seems to go hand in hand. Okolawo Ayobami is that thing that pushes one to an extreme and almost at a point we can't cope.
You see, and that is the popular understanding of what stress is, right? And once you begin to understand what stress is, it helps you to master stress and help you to stabilize your life. Do you know that the pressure that you go through every day is not stress? The whole COVID issue and the kind of way, the way it changed our life and it affected us, and the demand it's placing on us as a people, as individuals, as families, as organizations, that itself is not stress.
Then what is?
The bills rising that you can't like, this bills is too much. I'm not able to pay my rent. Price of rice is rising. Those things themselves are not stress. The way you feel when your team is losing, not the way you feel.
A very popular feeling, man.
That feeling, those things whatever is happening to you is not stress itself.
The light world, the CN says, stress is when you overwork.
So life events themselves cannot stress you. You are too powerful for life to stress you. So the question is, what is really stress itself? So life, whatever is happening to you, is at its best is what we call stressors. The pressure of life, the difficulties of life, the challenges you go through at work, in your family, in your relationship, in Nigeria, globally, the challenges we are going through, in themselves are not stress. We call them stressors. They have the capacity to trigger stress, right? What is stressing you? Stress itself is the way you are responding or reacting to what is happening to you. What is happening to you is called stressors. The way you are reacting and responding to what is happening to you is what is stressing you. The way you are interpreting and responding to what is happening to you is what is giving you stress. So we say it this way: you are less stressed by what is happening to you, but you are more stressed by the way you are interpreting and reacting to what is happening to you. So stress is your body and mind response to what is happening to you. And here's the good news: the way you interpret and react to life is under your control. You may not be able to control what is happening to you. You may not be able to control what is happening in Nigeria. You may not be able to control what is happening globally, but you can control the way you interpret what is happening, and you can control the way you respond to what is happening. Now, let's give an example. Many of us in Nigeria, we are conversant with traffic. And people in Lagos and probably in major cities in Nigeria, they complain about the stress they undergo because of traffic, right? Now, let's use traffic because it's a common experience as an example. I know many of us we've experienced being in a traffic jam before. So when you are in a traffic jam, and let's say you were in a traffic jam for about 4 hours, after being in traffic for about 4 hours, what happens to you? How do you feel after 4 hours? George, how do you feel after 4 hours?
Frustrated.
Frustrated, right? What else? Yeah. What about feeling? What other feeling? Let's say you were in traffic for 4 hours. How would you feel after 4 hours? Now, remember,
there's fatigue as well.
Fatigue. Even when you are in your AC car, right? Comfortable, you still feel stressed. You feel frustrated. You feel sad. People feel angry.
Yes.
The question is, was it the traffic that was making you stressed? Now, I'll give you another instance. So
the time spent, though.
The time spent, yeah. Now, let's give you another example. Now, you went to 4 hours traffic. When you were done with the traffic, you felt tired. You felt exhausted, stressed, frustrated. Now, let's say you go to that same traffic the next day, and you were actually about to encounter that 4 hours traffic. Then you heard an announcement, and the announcement was, for every minute you spend in this traffic, you are going to be earning $100.
We'll sleep in the traffic.
So after 4 hours in a traffic where you are earning $100, how are you going to feel after the traffic?
Wow, fulfilled.
Happy.
Proud of yourself.
So same traffic, different outcome. What changed? You will realize that it wasn't the traffic itself that was giving you stress. It is the way you were reacting to the traffic. And that's just it. In life, what is giving you stress is not what is happening to you. What is giving you stress is the way you are interpreting and reacting to what is happening to you. Now, the reason why it is so is because you lose energy anytime you lose control of your emotions. I'll say that again. You lose energy anytime you lose control of your emotions. Now, when we say emotions, emotion is simply emotion, energy in motion. Energy in motion. Anytime you lose control over your emotions, you lose energy. The reason why you feel stressed, you feel tired, exhausted after a traffic, wasn't because of the traffic. Was because you lost control of your emotions because of the traffic. It wasn't because of the traffic. If you were, because in the traffic, you were not walking, you were not carrying weight, you were not carrying block. You were just in traffic, you were sitting down. But if you respond better to traffic, you'll find that you'll feel more relaxed. So imagine a husband that is probably scared of going home because of the wife is a very troublesome wife. The wife with traffic will be, I'll be happy. By the time you get back, you won't be okay because in the way he responded to the traffic was different. So what is stressing you, what is making you overwhelmed, is actually triggered more by how you are responding and reacting to life. So the first point, major point we want to make today, you need to learn how to respond better to life. If you want to master your mental health, if you want to master your stress level, you must treat life correctly and you must learn how to react to life correctly. Instead of even reacting, you must learn how to respond to life correctly. And once you have this understanding, it helps you manage your stress level. And so, like I said, stress is your response, your body and your mind response to what is happening to you. Now, look at your screen. Just look at your screen now. Will we all remain in our comfort zone until life puts pressure on you? When life puts pressure, makes demands on you, it pushes you to what we call your stretch zone. Many a times when we complain that life is stressing us, what life is actually doing is that life is stretching you. Now, if you don't respond well to the stretching that life is giving you, you are going to enter into the mode. See the red mode, we call it the panic zone. And that is where anything can happen to you. So the more you respond better to life, the more you interpret life better, the better it is for you. All right? So let's look at why stress is even dangerous. Why, when you don't manage your stress level well, why it becomes very dangerous. Now look at your screen. The man on your screen, the name of this man is Professor Ansalaya. Professor Ansalaya is the father of pathology. He's the man who coined the word stress. Now, he is a pathologist and he has conducted over 1,000 autopsies. Autopsy is what they do when someone dies. The kind of test they do for the person to know why the person died. That's what autopsy is. Now, so this man has conducted over 1,000 autopsies. Now, I want you to read. We are going to read together what this man said. Now, what the man said is written on the screen. You can read along with me as I read. Professor Ansalaya said, "What makes me so certain that the natural human lifespan is far in excess to the actual one is this. Amongst all my autopsies, and I have performed over 1,000, I have never seen a person who died of old age yet." He said, "In fact, I do not think anyone has ever died of old age." He said, "We invariably die because one vital part of our body worn out too early in proportion to the rest as a result of stress." Can you imagine that? After he conducted over 1,000 autopsies, he realized that people don't really die of old age. People die because one vital part of their body has worn out too early as a result. Now, there's a popular man in Nigeria, I won't mention him, that died some years ago. He died at the age of 62. An autopsy was conducted on him. When I say autopsy, I mean the test that was they conduct for people who die to know why they died. So a test was conducted on him, and the autopsy was conducted on him, and they found out that he died of heart attack. But for that test was conducted, and they found out that his heart was 104 years. He died at 62. Was 104 years. Now there's what we call chronological age, and there's what we call biological age. Chronological, maybe you are 25. That's your chronological age. I'm 26 years old. I'm 28 years old. I'm 35 years. That's your chronological age. But your organs are aging differently. It's called biological dating. There are some hospitals you can go and check the biological age of your organs. You can check the biological age of your heart, the biological age of your lungs. For some people, they are 28, but their lungs is already 74. Depending on the level of stress they are going through. You see someone that is 45, but the heart is already 58. Because of stress. Your organs are aging differently as a result of stress. The level of stress your organs are going through determine the level they are aging. And then people, that's what Professor Ansalaya is saying, that people don't die because of old age. They die because one vital part of their body has worn out too early. The word here is worn out too early as a result of stress. So let's look at this more. Now, research has shown, and this is by the Center for Disease Control in the US, that 75 to 90% of all doctors' visits is stress related. 75 to 90% of all doctors' visits is stress related. Why is this so? The body, the mind, and the emotions are connected. Whatever is happening to your mind will show up in your body. Whatever is happening in your emotions will show up in your body. Right? So let me show you something. Let me show you something. How negative emotions affect your organs. To show you how. So anger is an emotion of the liver. When you get angry anyhow, you hold anger in your heart. I'm angry. I dey vex for this guy. I dey vex for my wife. I'm angry with my boss. I'm angry with my coach. I'm angry with my fellow Disney. When you abhor anger, you are affecting your liver. You are wearing out your liver. The more angry you get and the more anger you sustain in your system, you are affecting your liver. Let's see this slide again. Bitterness affects the gallbladder. Grief and sadness, they are affecting your heart and your lungs. When you sustain grief. Now, I'm not saying emotion. We are going to get the emotions are not bad or good, right? But we are saying when you sustain them for long in your system, and when they become overwhelming, they begin to affect your organs. Vulnerability, low self-esteem, fear. Let me show you a more detailed slide, right? Look at hatred. Hatred. You hate somebody. You cruel. You are wicked. You have a wickedness in your heart, and you are impatient. You are affecting your heart and your small intestine. Anger, frustration, jealousy, envy, they are affecting your liver, your eyes, and your gallbladder. Fear, they are affecting your kidney. Worry and anxiety affects your pancreas, your stomach. You are stressing those organs of your body, in your body. Sadness, depression, guilt, grief, they're affecting your lungs, your skin, and your life. Whatever is happening in your emotions, they will show up in your body. If not resolved, they will show up in your body. And that's why it's important that we begin to take care of our mental health, our emotions. Pay attention to our emotions. All right? So that's how dangerous, let me not use the word dangerous, the word is dangerous. That's how dangerous stress is if it's not managed. Now let's look at examples of stressors. We said what is happening to you is not stress in itself. What is happening to you is a stressor, right? It's how you are responding to what is happening to you that actually gives you stress. So examples of some stressors, we have loss of life. When you lose a loved one, it could pose as a stressor. When you lose your business, you lose a client, and you're under pressure to pay bills. You lose, even losing a match, right? When you're at the club, you lose a match. You will start feeling. Some people you say, "Coach, I'm depressed." And like, why are you depressed? My team has lost for the past 3 weeks. It's not making me happy. Why? Because you're actually emotionally attached to your football club. Yeah? And whenever they lose, your emotions go down. Right? So loss and grief are stressors. And if you don't react well, you don't interpret these things well, and you don't react well to them, you don't respond well, it could be pose stress. Role loss, right? Social status can even be a source of stressor. Right? A source of stress, sorry. Losses in physical capacity and reserve, anything lost causes stress. Right? Pressure from work. Your bills are rising. Right? Before you pay this one, you earn money, maybe you are earning a particular salary. Before 10th of the next new month, your salary is gone. And you're under pressure. How am I going to survive? Those things can pose as stress. So what determines your stress level is your response. Don't forget that. What determines your stress level is your response. Now, this stress, when you feel stressed, those stress and emotions are actually biochemicals in your body. I tell people, emotions are not reasonable. You say, "Coach, why? Why would you say emotions are not reasonable?" Like, emotions are not reasonable. Do you know the reason why? Emotions are basically biochemicals in your body. They are just hormones in your body. They are not reasonable. When you feel angry, what is just happening to you? You have anger hormones in your body. When you feel stressed, you have stress hormones that are released in your body. And let me give you a typical example. Let's say you go back from that traffic. Let's say you were in traffic for 4 hours, and you were walking from morning till night. Then you encountered car traffic. You go back home. Let's say 11 o'clock, and you were so tired that you couldn't even pull off your. When you were driving into your house, you're like, as I'm getting into this house, I'm not going to even pull off my clothes. I won't pull off my shoe. I am just going to lie down on my couch. I won't even go to my bed. I'm just going to sleep off. That was what you planned to do. Then as you got into your room, all of a sudden, as you found a very dangerous dog, bad-looking dog that is big and is wild and is about to attack you, what's going to happen to you? George.
That's scary.
What are you going to do? Now you're tired. What's going to happen?
The strength will come.
Strength will come. Strength will come. But the question, where did the strength come from? You were tired before. Where did the strength come from? The strength came from a biochemical release in your body called adrenaline. The same way when you are stressed, there are just biochemicals in your body. When you are angry, biochemicals in your body. When you are frustrated, biochemicals in your body. When you understand that emotions are chemicals, it helps you to know how to regulate yourself.
Emotions are not feelings.
They are feelings.
Or
the reason why you
feelings.
feel that way are because of the chemicals that are pumped in your body. So when you understand that, it helps you know that, okay. You don't now respond just based on how you feel. You respond based on what are the facts. And that is where the whole concept of emotional intelligence comes from, right? Emotions, chemicals, emotions, stress are just chemicals in your body. And when you understand this, it helps you manage this thing. And so let's look at symptoms of stress. Stress affects your body, your mind, your emotions, and your behavior. So many of the symptoms people go through, and they're like, "Oh, coach, I feel so much headache. I feel this." Okay, a woman came to, I had a session with a woman and some years ago, and she had this constant knee pain, right knee pain. Constant right knee pain, and it was not going away. She had gone to the hospital. I think she said that in her life for almost 2 years and it wasn't going. And then she came, we're having a conversation. She came to the office to see me, and I asked her that, "Okay, this is your knee pain. Can you tell me when it started?" She told me when it started, and I asked her some questions. We now found out that the reason why she was having that new pain was because she had that unresolved problem with her wife, with her husband. So she had a quarrel with her husband concerning a particular decision she wanted to make. Now, she later accepted what the husband wanted, but in her mind, she still had that problem, that grudge against her husband. And she has nursed that grudge for more than 2 years. And because she has not resolved that emotion, it was reflecting in her body as knee pain. Now, the right side of your body represents authority. Your knee represents moving forward. So that woman was having emotional conflict over moving forward with an authority figure in her life, which is her husband. And she didn't resolve that emotions for too long, otherwise it's showing up in her body. Emotions, stress that you don't resolve for too long will show up in your body. Will show up as body sickness. Do you know that in some hospitals today, especially in advanced countries, before they take people through surgery, they take them through either forgiveness therapy or normal therapy. Do you know why? They found out that when people are bleeding emotionally, they have higher possibilities to bleed more during surgery. Remember I told you, your emotions are connected to your body. And that's the reason why stress will show up in your body. So symptoms of stress, we have headache, frequent infection. Any little thing, you're already getting infected. It could be that you're feeling stressed, right? You have muscular twitches, you have fatigue, you have skin irritation. It could be a result of stress, right? Sometimes you have loss of confidence. When you are stressed, you make more mistakes when you are stressed, right? You feel depression, you feel apprehension. These are symptoms of stress. It has impact on your mind. You worry a lot. You have muddled thinking. You're not able to make the right decision, right? You feel negative. You're complaining. You just complaining. You're about to say you are complaining. You're just getting angry with everything. It could be that you're just stressed, right? And you need to pay attention to your stress level, right? It also shows up in your behavior. You become more accident prone. You're prone to mistakes. You are working, but you are making a lot of mistakes. It could be that because you are stressed. And you need to really deal with that stress level as soon as possible. So we are making progress. So let's look at this slide and let's look at how we can manage and master stress. How can you manage and master? We've talked about a little bit about stress mastery. One of the major ways you can master your stress level is to learn to change how you interpret life. Learn to interpret life better. You have to stop focusing on negative. See, nothing in life has meaning except the meaning you give to it. Nothing in life has meaning except the meaning you give to it. So if you are encountering a situation, take for example COVID, take for example the protest that has been happening in Nigeria that is affecting all of us. The way you interpret what is happening will determine how your body begins to respond to it. Now, if you interpret a situation as danger, as this thing is here to finish me, this thing is here to destroy me, the emotion that will be released in your body is going to be fear. And once you begin to feel fear, you begin to feel stress too. Once you begin to feel stressed, all your brain shuts down. We call it the deep thinking mode. The deep thinking mode of your brain shut down. You are left with shallow thinking, right? You're not able to think better. When you feel stressed, you're as if you're having brain block. You're not able to think well. You're not able to create options. You're not able to be creative. If you're a sport person, you'll not even be effective. Right? So you need to understand how to interpret life better. You need to learn how to see life better from a positive point of view. And you need to learn to respond better. So let's look at how you can manage stress. How can you manage stress? Now, I will use this bucket principle to illustrate how you can manage stress. Now, look at this bucket here. This bucket, it represents your mind and your body. Remember, we say stress is your body and mind response to what is happening to you. Now, look at this bucket here. This bucket represents your mind and your body. A lot of stressors and stresses are poured into this bucket. Now, as long as things are, let's say water is pouring into this bucket will get full, and once it gets full, it will begin to overflow. The only way this bucket will not get full is if this tap is open. If this tap is open, whatever is pouring into the bucket will be pouring out in the tap. The same way for your mind and your body. When things are pointing, stressors from your relationship, your girlfriend is giving you problems. She's cheating. Or she's treating you, not treating you well. Your boyfriend not treating you well, and it's giving you, giving you pressure. It's giving you stress, right? Work, the demands of work, deadline, all right? The pressure from your boss, finances, the way you are eating is pointing to your mind, and your mind cannot take it anymore. If you don't open the tap, you will break down. So people begin to break down when their mind becomes full. When their mind cannot handle the stress anymore, when their mind cannot handle the pressure anymore, then you begin to break down. You break down with physical health issues. You break down with mental health issues. So the only way you will not break down is if you open this tap. Now let's look at the tap you can open. How can you manage stress? Number one is yoga. Yoga is an exercise. You can check it online. Because of time, you cannot go in depth. But yoga is an exercise that can help you calm your mind down, help you release stress. The stress you feel is a meditation program with physical exercise that can help you relieve yourself of stress. And that way you can manage stress, and also it affects your mental health. You can become your mental health. You can relieve yourself and make your mental health better. You can manage your mental health better during crisis. It's through meditation. Meditation, right? Spending time to meditate. Okay, and there are a lot of meditation materials online. If you go on YouTube, just type guided meditation. Guided meditation. You will see a lot of meditation materials. You just put your earpiece and you listen to them, and they cool your mind. You exercise those things. What we call mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness has to do with paying attention to the present in a non-judgmental way, right? You pay attention to how you breathe. You just calm your down. Forget about thoughts of the past and thoughts of the future. It is the thoughts of the past that causes depression. It is the thoughts of the future that causes anxiety. So what mindfulness does is it brings your mind to the present. You let go of the thought of the future, thought of the past. Just focus on now. That's mindfulness meditation. You focus on now. What is going on in your body now? How are you breathing now? How does it feel? How does your body feel? Focusing on the present. You can go online, you just type guided mindfulness meditation on YouTube. You will see a lot of videos you can watch. There's an app called Calm. You can download the app on Play Store. You have a lot of mindfulness materials. You just put it on your ear and they will guide you on how you can be mindful and how you can meditate, right? And that way you can relieve yourself of stress. You can reduce stress is by taking out time to rest. Rest is not a luxury. Many by young people, you want to walk, you want to walk. You are not taking time to rest. You will break down. You will become overwhelmed over time. You will become worked out over time. Take time to rest. Create time every day to rest. Sometimes the kind of rest you need is just about 40 minutes nap in the afternoon, apart from your night sleep. All right? Take time to rest. All right? Take time to relax. Take time to relaxation is not a luxury. All right, take time to rest. All right, we need to take a short break now.
That's right.
And when we come back, we're going to continue from this, how you can manage stress using this model I'm talking about.
That's right. Let's go for a break. When we come back, we expect that there'll be lots of questions. We have already a lot of questions here, but we'll allow Coach Dennis finish with this talk, and then he would entertain your questions. So sit back and don't go anywhere. This is the Vandresa FC Mental Health Awareness Seminar 2020. We'll be right back.